Hey, folks. Yeah, your title doesn't have to have a colon in it, right? Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Gina. I was part of the original 404 in Argentina 20-something years ago. Makes me old to think that. There's this great, well, I should say, I'm Matt Kenyon. I'm an artist. I like to work with media and technology because I'm familiar with them and I like the power that they hold. And also, I'm afraid of the power they hold. And for about 24 years, I've been running my studio. It's called SWAMP. It stands for Studies of Work Atmospheres in Mass Production. And there's this quote from a fellow named Jello Biafra, lead singer of the Dead Kennedys, that I really love. He's an activist and a musician. And he says, "Don't hate the media, become the media." And man, that hits hard, especially when the world feels like it's going off the rails. Environmental disasters, political chaos, and the media fumbling again and again with the ball. And there have been times in my work when I felt like it was all too much, like no matter what we do, the stories just get distorted. But I returned to that quote. Instead of shaking my fist at how the world works or how the media mangles the truth, it's like, be the thing, step up. Carry the story for yourself. But what does it mean to become media right now? It started small like it always does, a wisp of smoke curling up through the dense Canadian forests. The kind you see in the distance and think, that's far away, someone will handle it. The sky turned a bruised orange and the sun had come a little too early. And the air, you could taste it, the burn of it, thick, choking, even 100 miles away. There's a thin strip of land where the streets have names, but the people lose theirs. A strange quiet has settled, punctuated by the thunder of US bombs and exploding pagers. It's not just buildings they tear down, it's the visible things too, like hope and history, as though flattening one could erase the other. This is an image of fracking. Imagine this, miles beneath your feet, a giant hand gripping the earth, squeezing, cracking, breaking it apart. It's dirty work, loud work. And so, all so that we can pull tiny little pockets of oil and gas, squeezing like a giant tube of toothpaste that's nearly empty. Sure, it gives us more energy, but then there's the water, the stuff we drink, poisoned. The air, thick and heavy, like someone left the stove on too long. And the earthquakes. You're sitting there, minding your own business, when the ground starts to shake. All of this to keep the lights on, but at what cost? It's as if the ground is getting angrier. This is TAP. It's an interactive black flame that invites viewers to discuss fracking. TAP chronicles a diverse array of intersectional stories, notably spotlighting the Denton, Texas fracking referendum collection. Denton, Texas, a small place with a big voice. Back in 2014, people there did something remarkable. They said no. No to fracking. No to being pushed around by forces bigger than them. And it wasn't just talk. On November 4th, they made it law. The first big city in the country to ban fracking for good. You hear it from the folks themselves, in their own words, what it was like to fight and to win. And to feel like maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something. A blueprint for how to push back when the world feels like it's closing in. These narratives explore the diverse impacts of fracking using first-person dialogues ranging from landowners weighing the potential benefits and pitfalls of permitting fracking on their lands to the truck drivers who transport the colossal 2 to 8 million gallons required to fracture a single well. The flame provides a complex, nuanced depiction of the fracking industry, its repercussions on the people and the places it touches. It's important that you know that the flame itself is, the sound that you hear is coming from the flame itself using a technology called a plasma speaker.
I have been on a fracturing job in 1947 in Walter's oil field in Cobb County, Oklahoma. My dad got me out of school one morning and said, "You're going to leave me today, but they're going to do something out there. I want you to see." And they cracked 3 weapons.
In the beginning, we kept the kids inside, except to go to and from school. Then the nosebleeds started. My son is now getting them at least once a week, and he has started hiding them from me. He says, "Mama, I promise I didn't do anything to make my nose bleed." He doesn't understand, and he thinks that he is doing something wrong.
Like someone would like to measure decibels.
Right, I'm going to skip there just for time. You can find these videos on my website. So that was TAP. Now I'm going to talk about Oracle. And I want to first say special thanks to Nick Bontrigger, my collaborator, and extra special thanks to the Fine Acts, an art and activism group founded by 2 senior TED fellows, an Obama scholar, and a whole team of brilliant advisors who helped on this project. This is a picture of my grandfather. He was one of the architects of the Environmental Protection Agency, a lifelong civil servant. And he liked to tell me this story from 1969. It stuck with him, and it sticks with me. It was this photo in Time magazine of the Cuyahoga River, except it wasn't a river anymore, not really. It was fire, flames dancing on water, something that shouldn't even be possible, right? But that's what happens when you treat a river like a trash can for decades. They let it collect the gunk from factories up in Akron, the tire capital of the United States, and one Sunday in June, all that waste, years of it, caught fire. And that image did something. People saw it, and they finally couldn't look away. It was a spark, no pun intended. Suddenly there was momentum, public support, politicians showing up. And out of all of that came the Clean Water Act, and not long after that, the EPA itself. Like a river catching fire was the thing we needed to start cleaning up the mess. There's something about a burning tire that sticks with you. It's more than just the image. Dark smoke twisting up into the sky, the stink of something unnatural. But what it represents is us. We've made the mess. The US alone cranks out 335 million tires a year, 1 billion tires worldwide. Each one made of a cocktail of materials, synthetic rubber, carbon black, some metal, some fabric, stuff that just doesn't disappear. And it's oil too, 5 to 10 gallons per tire, pulled up from the depths, turned into something that will outlast us all. Tires are built from ancient things, fashioned from deep time, fossilized, refashioned, and they stick around for centuries, maybe longer, like a reminder of how we've stretched the limits of the natural world. And here's the kicker. We don't know what to do with them. They pile up, they burn, or get burned. So yeah, that image of a burning tire, it's us, really, burning through the future with every mile. Oracle, this is the work, is an artwork where you've got a tire on fire, literally. And out of the flames comes a voice. It's a talking fire. It's like some kind of modern day oracle, but instead of whispering cryptic messages about the future, it's tackling the here and now, and it's tackling climate change, the environmental mess we're all tangled up in. You walk up to this burning tire and you ask it questions, and it talks back about the state of things, the planet. It works with this plasma speaker, a kind of out-of-date technology where the membrane of the flame is like the cone of the speaker and vibrates and creates sound. It sounds like AI, but it has a real live human remote performer. And Nick and I think of it as a kind of as one of those disengagements, the event when an autonomous vehicle either did not know what to do or it handed over control to a human driver who took over for themselves. It's called a disengagement.
Tire, what are you?
I was once destined to be on a vehicle with travel roads and highways. I now sit here, surviving a tire from a lost generation.
Tire, how long have you been on fire?
That is a good question, visitor. While I do not know the exact number of years, it feels as if I have been on fire longer than not. Mount Firestone, which ignited in 1984 and still smolders.
How old are you, Tire?
I emerged from the depths of the earth, where time stretches far beyond human reckoning.
Tire, do you have a family?
I have no kin. They are gone now from our shared world, and I am the lone survivor.
Tire, what do you remember?
I remember hands, thick cataract calluses. I remember the strikes, the heat, the layers, the endless repetition, the waste, so much waste.
Tire, what do you remember?
I remember warnings of the earth cooling, but also scientists positing the opposite. Human, machine, animal, and the water. So much water drunk up pure and spit out, ruined. Where are you from, visitor?
I'm from Akron, Tire.
Were you born there?
Yes, Tire.
Which part?
Near the Cuyahoga River, Tire.
How close were you to the Cuyahoga River?
The Cuyahoga River? About 5 miles.
I rolled through those streets once, long ago. There used to be a time when the river was a symbol of progress, but now it's known for something entirely different. Have you ever thought about real change, visitor? Change, away from the environmental crisis you're facing. Have they told you why they sent you to speak with me?
They warned me about the rapid deterioration of the climate and questioned the soundness of our actions.
Are our actions genuinely unsound?
I can't identify any clear course of action, Tire.
I anticipated someone like you. What were your expectations? Are you an activist, visitor?
I'm just a concerned citizen.
You're neither. You're a messenger, sent by bureaucrats to deliver a message.
Looping back to the big picture, like the AI and self-driving cars, we've built these incredible systems, these tools, and we've told ourselves they're going to take care of the hard stuff. We've leaned back, thinking the world's just going to drive itself, smooth and easy like. But then out of nowhere, a disengagement. the AI says, nope, this is on you. And suddenly we're holding the wheel in the middle of a crisis that we thought someone or something else would solve. Same with the climate change. We've been waiting for the big fix, the magical technology, or some savior to steer us out of this mess. But all along, it's been us. We're the ones who have to take control before we run right off the road. So, in closing, my next project is called Dumpster. It's a talking dumpster fire. It's going to be made and exhibited before November. If you're interested in sharing a story from the last 5 years, you can email me at this address, and your story will become part of Dumpster, a talking dumpster fire that will be exhibited in Buffalo, New York, early November. Thank you so much.